Hello, students. Good morning and welcome back to Sharp Creative Minds English and Mathematics channel. I welcome you back again. So, we are back here again with a new video, which is the most interesting one known the trigonometric topic here. Okay, so get ready, be full of energy, and don't ever think that it is going to be something difficult. No, my dear children, not at all. Trigonometry in mathematics is one of the easiest and one of the super big which we are going to learn today. Let us see what we are going to learn. Welcome back. Let us begin. So you can see in the video that here is a Qutub Minar, right? Suppose if you have gone to Delhi, look at the top of Qutub Minar. Here one angle is formed with the base of the Qutub Minar, with the base that you are standing, right? So when you look here, one angle is formed here, and this is the base from which you are standing at the Qutub Minar, and this is the height of the Qutub Minar. Well, my dear students, you can guess the height or you can tell the height of the Qutub Minar even without measuring. Yes, that is the beauty of trigonometry, Even without measuring, you can directly tell with this angle what is the height of the Qutub Minar. Okay, or with what distance you are standing away from the Qutub Minar. Well, I think you have got my point here. Another picture here that I would like to show you. Yes, what can you see here? Here we have got a building. Suppose this is your house, and your house is built on the excuse me, on the banks of the river, and to one side of the river you have your house, and towards the other side of the river you have a big temple, right? So this is the temple and this is your house, and people come here, they offer puja, they offer flowers, they offer everything what they are wishing to do for the puja. And then suppose you are standing at the top of your house, and once it happens that you look down, see, can you see this angle, that you look down here at the steps of the temple where a beautiful flower vase is kept. Flower vase, in the pot where we keep flowers. Okay, a pot is kept with a plant. If you happen to see that, so looking at that pot from your top of the house, from your terrace, when you look at that pot without measuring, you can tell the width of the river. Exactly, you can tell the width of the river. Even you can sometimes guess the depth of the river, or you can guess, if you're standing here and you're looking at your terrace, you can guess the height of your building also. So that is the beauty of trigonometry, my dear students. Even without real measurements, we can find out the measurements, we can find out the width of the river, or we can find out the height of the building. So that is the beauty of trigonometry. So when you look at both the pictures, what can you see here? So when you look at both the pictures, what can you see? You can see that here a beautiful right angled triangle has been formed, and even here also a right angled triangle has been formed. Okay, so let us see now what trigonometry is. Okay, my dear students, trigonometry is derived from the Greek word which consists of three words. One is tri, another is gon, and another is metron. Okay, so tri means it is 3, gon means it shows the sides, and metron means it's nothing, it's just to measure. So when we club all the three words together, we find that the trigonometry is telling us something about the three sides and its measurements, right? So where are you going to find these three sides? Exactly, we find the three sides only in a triangle, right? Yes. So what does this trigonometry actually mean? Okay, trigonometry means that it is a branch of mathematics which deals with the measurement of the sides and the angles of a triangle. Okay, so trigonometry means it is a branch of mathematics which deals with the measurement of the sides and the angles of a triangle. So this gives us the definition of the trigonometry. Okay, well, as we have already seen that trigonometry mainly deals with the right angled triangle. Here we can see that a right angled triangle is being formed in both the situations or in both the cases. So I have drawn a beautiful right angled triangle for you. This is triangle A, B and C. This is a beautiful right angle triangle A, B and C. So what specific thing can you observe here is that we have an angle at A. This is no doubt a right angled triangle. So we have the right angle at B. Apart from this right angle, we have an angle at A. So A suggests us that we are specifically speaking about the angle which is at A. So when I say angle A, you have to look to the opposite side from A. So what is going to be the opposite side from A? So if I take this arrow like this is going to be exactly opposite of A. So which it is? Yes, this is BC, right? So when I talk about angle A, the side that is opposite to angle A, we call it as the opposite side. So we denote it by O. So in this case, our opposite side is going to be BC. Okay, fine. So the side that is just neighboring, or which is just attached with this angle A, we call it as the adjacent side, and it is denoted by capital A. Okay, so opposite side is denoted with O and adjacent side is denoted with A. Okay, in this triangle we have three sides. The opposite towards the angle A is O, that is BC, and the adjacent side towards angle A is AB. Okay, these two sides are over. Now we have one more side that is remaining, which is the longest side in the right angled triangle. There is no need for you to say that the longest side is hypotenuse, because you already know it. So longest side is hypotenuse and it is denoted with H. So opposite side is denoted with O, adjacent side is denoted with A, and hypotenuse is denoted with H. Okay. So next we are going to learn about the trigonometric ratios. What are these trigonometric ratios? Don't worry, it's going to be very simple. I'm just going to give you a formula. Can you see this formula here? SOHCAHTOA. I hope it's clear. SOHCAHTOA. Well, I'll give you a simple formula to remember that. Son of Hanmantappa. SOH. Son of Hanmantappa. CAH. Calling Auntie Hanmava. CAH. Calling Auntie Hanmava. TO. To. A. America. To America. Son of Hanmantappa calling Auntie Hanmava to America. So this is the formula that you are going to keep in mind in order to not to forget about the ratios of the sides. So first we are going to have the ratio of sine. So sine A. What is sine A? Sine means it is O by H. Okay, so the trigonometric ratio for sine A is O by H. A means it denotes that we are speaking about angle A. So in case we are not having angle A, we are having angle C. Suppose we are talking about angle C, then what will happen? Yes, you have guessed it right. This opposite side will come this side. It will change the direction. Now this will become the opposite side and this will become the adjacent side. So depending on the angle, depending on the position of the angle, the position of the sides also changes. Okay, don't worry, we are having only two angles. If angle A is here, then this is opposite, this is adjacent. If we are talking about angle C, then this is opposite and this is adjacent. So now in this case we are speaking about angle A. So sine A means it is O by H. O by H means opposite by hypotenuse. So according to this, opposite is going to be BC. So BC and H means hypotenuse, it's going to be AC. So BC by AC is our trigonometric ratio for sine A. Next we are having cos A. So what is cos A? Cos A is A by H. A by H. A is nothing but adjacent side. So adjacent side is this, that is AB. So we are having AB, and hypotenuse is this side. We are having AC. So A by H is AB by AC. So AB by AC is going to be the cos angle A. Cos trigonometric ratio for angle A. Now we are having tan A. Tan is nothing by 2O by A. Tan is O by A. So O is opposite. In the opposite we are having BC. So we are going to write BC, and A is adjacent. In the adjacent we are having AB. So we will write AB. So BC by AC is the ratio for tan A. Okay. So next we will talk about cosec A. Cosec A is H by O. Can you see here? Sin A is O by H. Cosec is H by O. That is going to be the inverse ratio. Sin and cosec are the inverse ratios. Here we have BC by AC. It will be inversed as AC by BC. We are having opposite by hypotenuse for sin A, but for cosec A we are having hypotenuse by opposite, H by O. Okay. Similarly, in case of sec A now. So cos A is A by H, and sec A is going to be H by A. Yes, you have understood it exactly. H by A is nothing but AC by AB. H is this H. H is AC, and A is AB. So AC by AB. Next we are having cot A. Cot is going to be the exactly opposite of tan. We are having O by A. This will change as A by O. So A is adjacent side, that is AB, and O is opposite side, that is BC. So this is the cot ratio for angle A. So let us recall once again. Sin A is nothing but O by H. So O is opposite side, that is BC. So we are having BC, and H is hypotenuse, and we are having AC. So BC by AC is our sin ratio. Cos is A by H. A is adjacent side, that is AB. H is hypotenuse, that is AH. So AB by AC. AB by AC is going to be the hypotenuse. Next for tan we are having O by A. So O is the opposite side, that is BC, and A is adjacent AB. So BC by AB is going to be our tan ratio. Sec A, cosec A is H by O. H is AC and O is BC. So we have AC by BC for cosec A. Next we have sec A. Sec A is H by A. H is AC and A is AB. So we have AC by AB. Cot A is A by O. A is AB and O is BC. So we have AB by BC. Now we can see here that sin A is O by H and cosec A is H by O. So these two are opposite of each other. And cos A is A by H, sec A is H by A. So these two are opposite. They are inverted of each other. Tan A is O by A and cot A is A by O. So these two are also opposite of each other. So we can write like that. So how can we write that? Sin A is inverse of cos A. So 1 by cos A. Sorry, cosec A. Sin A is inverse of cosec A. So we are going to write sin A as sin A is equal to 1 by cosec A. Similarly, vice versa. Cosec A is equal to 1 by sin A. Cos A is equal to 1 by sec A, and sec A is equal to 1 by cos A. Tan A is equal to 1 by cot A, and cot A is equal to 1 by tan A. Okay. So that is going to be the trigonometric ratio. Another simple point is that tan A can also be written as sin A by cos A. How is it possible, you might be thinking? See, sin A, we say son of Hanmantappa. Sin A is O by H and cos A is A by H. So O by H and A by H. So what happens? O and H gets multiplied, and H and A also gets multiplied in the denominator, because we are having denominator of the denominator. So O into, in this case, if it is like this, we have to multiply the upper and the lower part and then the middle part. So this gives you the formula, this O into H and H into A. So H and H gets cancelled, remaining is O by A, that gives us tan A. O by A is nothing but tan A. So tan A can also be written as sin A by cos A. Can you guess how cot A can be written? Yes, cot A can also be written as cos A by sin A, because cot A is inverse of tan. It's opposite of tan. Sin by cos, if it is tan, then cos by sin is going to be cot. Okay, so these were the, so we have learned all these things. In our next video we are going to solve exercise 11.1. so be ready, keep a notebook and a pen with you so that you can write down all the details of trigonometry in your notebook. So until then, keep watching. If you want, you can repeat and watch the video so that you can get perfect with the basics. So until then, goodbye, take care.